Hey there, and by night I fight crime, but by day I am my old mannered Rob from JTRpodcast.com, and welcome to Board Game Ups and Downs, where I look at the individual parts of a board game and give the bits I like an up and the bits I don't like a down. Let's look at the co-op hand management game, Marvel Champions. Before we start, just a few things. One, I'm not really married to the name of Ups and Downs. If you could think of something that's board game related I can use instead of Ups and Downs, but not victory points, please let me know in the comments below. Let's look at my favourite comment from last month's video. Thanks to Terry Che for the advice on gluing my Suburbia Collector's Edition tower. I give that a go when I can get out and get some glue. And finally, here we have the current league table. You need 9 points to beat Gaia Project and go top. You need 7 points to beat fellow top-ranked card game Blood Bowl Team Manager. Let's see how it goes. Okay, on to Marvel Champions. Let's start with the rulebooks. It's Fantasy Flights, of course. There are two of them. The one with the rules reference is really good. The other one I want to look at under the other camera. So there we go, here we have a page related to the setup. It's in nice chunky blocks. They're all numbered, you can see 5. Put it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see all the numbers. And that's really good. This is really easy to follow, it's very simple. But when you get to the gameplay, it just turns into your standard board game book of just massive blocks of text. And it's not really in any great order. Also, the little mini rulebooks that come with the villain expansions are really good as well. I like these. So I'm not going to give this an up and a down. I'm just going to break neutral. Half of it is good, half of it is bad. Unfortunately, it's the important bit that was bad, but the rest of it makes up for it. As you can see, this is my box. It is nearly full already. It's full of sleeved cards. It's barely big enough to hold sleeve cards. It didn't come with any dividers. It didn't come with any stuffing. You know, those foam pads you can use to hold cards in place when your box is empty. And after just 5 months of the game, it's already running out of space. There is that Red Skull story box thing coming, but for now, the box gets it down. Okay, creating your deck. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. There's the advanced version where you take the deck and you build it and you craft it to exactly what you want. And then there's the basic option where you can take a hero and you can take an aspect and you shuffle them together. You get those 2 decks and shuffle them together. That would make a great idea for a game. Somebody needs to get on that right away. But the deck building itself, because it's split into those 2 versions, one for those real hardcore fans and one for those people like me who want to play it every so often and could just give a deck to a friend and say, here, this is your deck. It's all good. That gets it up. Each of the heroes themselves come with a nemesis and an obligation. Now, a lot of games focus on the nemesis to say, if you're this character, then this is your bad guy and you will fight. That's how they work. But this one, having the obligation, Spider-Man always needs to pay his rent. That's part of his character. That's part of who he is. And also as well, having the hero and alter ego side as well. It's brilliant. It's very thematic. I'm giving that an up. And now the main mechanism of the game is hand management, which means you have a hand of cards. You have to discard some of those cards to pay the cost for other cards in your hand. That's always makes for tough decisions. It's one of my favourite mechanisms in games. So that hand management that this game has gets an up. Remember this from earlier that I said was really good? Well, let's take a closer look. So here we are. There is an example of the page inside that book. You can see all of these things here that you need to learn, as well as this one, which is called keywords, which just has another load of keywords in it. There are so many keywords and terminology you need to know. Some of it makes sense, but not all of it does. So while they are presented in a way that makes them easy for you to look them up, there's still a lot of them. You've got to teach them. People need to know them. Damn. So this game has loads of heroes and villains for you to buy. Some of them are expansions. There's quite a few still in the base box. So we're going to go through all the ones I have so far. It's towards the end of March, so I've got them all except the God of Thunder, but I don't want to talk about it. It's a Thor subject. Let's quick fire these. Starting with the heroes in alphabetical order, and Black Panther, who is based on equipment which is thematic. They has Vibranium as a resource, which is also thematic. You have these Wakanda Forever cards, which are really cool, because it lets you activate all the abilities on these Black Panther upgrades. But there is 5 Wakanda Forever cards and only 4 upgrades and no way to fish them out, so it doesn't always work as well as I'd like it to. So Black Panther gets it down. Captain America is a good all-rounder for attack, thwart and defense, and he also has this cool shield toss which comes back to your hand, and I really like that. So Captain America gets an up. Captain Marvel can deal massive amounts of damage. She's got a nice bit of defense in there with a helmet and a good bit of thwart there too. There's also Cosmic Flight that make her aerial abilities better. But there's only 2 copies of Cosmic Flight and no real way to search them out, so I'm not going to give her a down, I'm just going to leave her in the middle, nice and neutral. Iron Man is another very good all-rounder. They've got equipment bonuses like Black Panther, but Tony Stark's ability allows you to actually search for them, so which makes them more useful, so Iron Man gets an up. Now next up is Miss Marvel. Now I don't know much about her other than she's a polymorph, and that comes out in the cards in her deck, which is really cool. But the best thing is she has her persona cards, which are different from ally cards slightly, and it has a feeling of her having friends, so it's really cool. I like that difference in character. Miss Marvel gets an up. Everyone give her a big hand. If you know, you know. She-Hulk has both brains and brawn and can do massive damage, as you can imagine. She can do loads of damage as she takes damage, which is thematic. She can use her legal knowledge to thwart a scheme, again, very thematic. And her split personality is also accounted for here. Thematic and very fun, so She-Hulk, up. Finally for the hero, Spider-Man, another good all-rounder. The big swinging web kick does a lot of damage, and the backflip just feels very Spider-Man, very tricky. Spider-Man gets an up. Spider-Man is of course known for his one-liners, so let's go on to one-line all the bad guys. The Green Goblin, they play on his madness aspect nicely. Up. Now Claw's deck is really boring, but I don't know anything about them, so I'm just going to give him a neutral, but you know, he seems like a sound guy. The Rhino deck really puts over how big and strong and unstoppable he is. Up. Ultron, he has those drones, that is fun and different, so Ultron, up. And finally the Wrecking Crew. There's 4 of them, it's difficult to track, especially when you're playing solo. I don't like that. Also, they use all your life dials up, and I need those for me, down. And finally, the last thing I want to say about the villains is one thing you can do is change their difficulty. You can give them different schemes, you can change their levels. So you can change to, if you're playing solo, if you're playing with this group of friends who are really experienced, you can turn the difficulty up. If you're playing with new players, you can tone it down a bit to let them get into the game a bit more. I love that, it's great, it gets an up. So there you go, 12 ups and 4 downs for a score of +8. Let's take a look at the league table. And there it is, 8 points, puts it top of the table on the tiebreaker. We have a new leader. So as you know, I'm recording this in March 2020, where there is a bit of a lockdown. We can't get out to play in any game groups. I haven't been able to play Monumental or Starcadia Quest, which is the games I was going to do an ups and downs video for next month, had I played them enough. So I need to rely on my back catalogue. I'm going to go back to 2014 and take a look at 5 tribes. 5. Something about that number, it just seems odd. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and Insta at JTR Podcast, and find the blog at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta ThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.